It's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the latest with me, Mariam Longe, published author. How you doing?
Friday. When I say it's Friday, I just remember it's Friday.
And I'm ready to sing. Pick up my girls and hit the party tonight.
Anyway, tomorrow is World Pangolin Day, and I just want to highlight the animal and bring awareness to the fact that it's an endangered species because we're dealing. It's in fact being described as the most trafficked mammal in the world right now, and the fact that they're going to be extinct soon should be a cause for concern for all of us. So go up, read about pangolins and how their activities help our environment and to balance the ecosystem. And we should be able to speak up against trading these animals, and where we see this crime being committed, we should be able to speak up against it. Thank you.
Great, great. How are you doing, Nim?
I'm fine. And
I love your hijab.
thank you.
Ah, this is really nice, the ensemble.
This is Alamin.
Ah.
Oh, nice. I'm trying to remember who gave us this dress. I would love to give her credit. It's been a while. We're in dry season, and so because it's dry season, you get this cough. Everybody, children around are doing it. The solution is not necessarily to fall sick. It's not just be hydrated.
Okay.
You need to be very well hydrated during the day, during the sun. You know, children are playing and take ginger.
Okay. Maybe that's what's missing in our own house.
That's what's missing. So especially for children, I'm saying it because of most of us who have kids don't notice that the children play out in the sun.
Yeah.
They're worn out and tired. Yes, I was forcing just two that I have to go and have a shower. So I shower and take a lot of water while driving, and I'm trying to convince them to do that. I saw how tough it was, but at night you don't notice this cough. It's because their throat is dry.
I wake up coughing.
Yes, so
in the middle of the night.
Just take a lot of water. I don't sleep with a mug by my side.
Okay.
I take a lot of water as well.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. That's great.
I'm not a water person, but I'll
Water in my
try.
house is always finished. But everybody in my house is a water person. Everybody's drinking water.
How are you doing, Bissy?
I'm doing amazing. The series, Mama Ejiro, is ready. I'm so excited. The pictures were so good. The length is not for web series. It's TV series. It's a movie. It's a complete one.
Full season.
Full
13.
season, yes, 13 episodes. So now I have to start doing waka to go to television houses and try to sell the content. I'm really excited. It really worked out. Yeah. So it's just favor now so that they can buy it and we'll go back and shoot season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5.
Fantastic.
See, this industry, they will hear us.
Oh, yes, definitely. Just started.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
I love the way you packed your hair today.
Oh, you do? Yes. I'm taking it up this weekend. I'm done. I'm going back to my week. I mean, I enjoy the freedom with my neck. I really do. I wouldn't lie about that. But you know, I gotta get back to
same
the
here, darling.
same. Yeah.
1 week.
But tomorrow is my anniversary.
Wedding anniversary.
Wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many years now, girl?
It's just 11.
11 is good.
What do you mean just
this day and age
where 6 months marriage has packed up?
Okay, 11 years.
11 years.
Grateful 11, excellent 11.
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, excellent.
Amazing 11.
Okay, amazing 11. So I'm thinking of, since they didn't do anything for Valentine for us, I'm thinking of taking him out tomorrow.
Okay.
People didn't know.
Do for him.
I'll do for him.
Yeah.
So
It's important that you said that. You know, we usually say, I'm waiting to see what he will do. I was
yeah, he did not do anything, so he didn't do anything. So me, I'm choosing to do tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll carry him. So I hope he just follows me. You know how men can be.
You know, that
are you going to go and spend this amount of money for dinner? So I will say, let's meet and let's go together to this place. And hopefully if he agrees.
That may also teach him how to treat you.
Possibly. So I'll take him out tomorrow. We'll go somewhere nice. Let's go on a break. When we return, we go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Starting with the Punch this morning. PDP federal government clash as economy grows by 3.4%, highest in 7 years. Ogun housewife bats starving husband with hot water, flees, victim dies. Kwara governor to head Osun APC primary. 4 friends torture 28-year-old to death over missing phone Device found on chair. Oh, my Lord. Fish out Elijah fisherman's killers in Bayelsa, reps tell police. Cash transfer. Some Nigerians haven't seen 5,000 naira before, says minister. Budget amendments, insertions based on Nigerians' demands, reps reply Buhari. Customers kick over silent hike in electricity tariff amid fuel scarcity. Okay, let's start with the human interest story. Yeah.
So 4 men have been arraigned before Yola Chief Magistrate Court over the death of a 28-year-old man, Adamu Almadu, who was wrongly accused of stealing a phone. So Almadu was the son of a security guard working with the Adamawa Broadcasting Corporation, Yola, and was accused by Hamidu Umar, the son of the deposed ward head of Damare Yola, South Local Government. And he was accused of stealing his phone on the 22nd of January. He kept saying, I did not take this phone, I did not take this phone, but they were not hearing it. So him, the Umaru guy, and 3 other people took him to an uncompleted building and used wood on him, broken blocks. They injured most of his arms and everything. And then I think he collapsed and they left. By the time the guy got home, he saw his phone on his bed, in his bedroom. By the time they rushed back to take that guy to the hospital, he had died.
I hope that the face was
water. So investigations are ongoing. They have been arrested. It's just,
All right, another story in Punch.
Another story. A woman, Ramota Soliu, has allegedly killed her husband, Bello, at Iyana Ilewo in Abeokuta North Local Government. She says she's the mother of 2. Her husband had been complaining that she was starving him. She never cooks for him. And they also have a student, an Arabic student that lives with them. They're always hungry because she would never cook. And the day before, he had called her family members to sort of intervene in their situation. Please tell this woman to start cooking for me. His brother said they were there. And then the next thing they know, she goes in the next day and she puts a pot of water on fire. The brother said he thought maybe she was going to make amala or pap, and they were just waiting as the thing was on fire for an hour. Next thing, they heard screaming. She had turned the hot water on her husband. And immediately his boy started peeling. They rushed him to the hospital. The first hospital rejected him. By the time they took him to the second hospital, he had passed.
Oh, wow.
Oh, goodness me.
Do you have another story?
I was going to take this PDP and federal government clash. They're not really clashing, but I guess... So the National Bureau of Statistics had released a statement saying that GDP had grown by 3.4% in 2021 and the highest in 7 years. PDP says this is the voodoo economics of Buhari. When you talk of economic growth, it must have impact on the lives of people. Like Jalai Mohammed said, we have an opposition that doesn't want to believe anything that this government has done. However, experts are saying that we should be careful the way we celebrate that. Yes, it's a good thing, although if you compare the indices they're using, so 2020 when we had the pandemic, and then 2021, yes, there was a bit of growth, which is great, but we also must be careful in celebrating too quickly, because according to them, it doesn't really impact the lives of people. So let me read specifically what one of the experts said. He said that, trying to find his quote here, we saw a rebound of oil prices, and with an average about 60 to 70% increase. So that also helped. But we must acknowledge and cautiously commend the annual growth, because it's not in itself, it's only a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. And it says that we need to interrogate how the GDP is impacting other things such as poverty, employment, performance of SMEs, and macroeconomic indices like inflation, exchange rate. So it's great, but let's be cautious about how we celebrate it.
I have another story quickly. Right. So electricity consumers on Thursdays were kicking against the silent increase in tariff payable by customers to power distribution companies for electricity. And they said they just realized that there was an increase that happened and there was no announcement. It was not published on the website. They spoke to some customers and they said that somebody who was paid for a particular point was supposed to get about 107, got 90 something, and nobody was told anything about it. So there's this man, he's a chairman of Nigeria Consumer Protection Network, Kola Olubiyu, has taken the matter up with the regulator. That started last week, and he was saying that this is like ripping Nigerians off. This is not even the time for this sort of thing to happen. You would have told us that you were going to do this increment and get Nigerians to prepare. We are fighting the adulterated fuel right now that has happened, and you are now secretly collecting more money from Nigerians without even letting them know. So
if they let them know, they will now carry placard and say,
we don't even know, it's like shaving somebody's head in their absence now. That's stealing now.
Don't tell us.
You cannot secretly do that.
I don't think anybody's secretly doing anything. It's cost reflective.
You don't tell us ahead of time.
Gradually, because you're saying you cannot pay a bit. Gradually, you're paying for it. You're not paying for it.
Yeah, but you cannot
let us know.
It's not cost reflective.
So phase us
cost
in.
reflective is that you've used the power. You're paying for as much power as you get. So I want to understand when my card is running out fast, that I have lights. I'm not trying to buy fuel.
My card
you're putting on the generator, you're putting on the air conditioner, you're putting on the freezers.
Your card shouldn't be running
Move on,
out.
please. Let us go to the nation. They come for me now. The nation. PDP governors Ghana Parley fails to break zoning deadlock. Equal trade partnership solution to migration menace, Buhari tells EU. Sanwo-Olu Lagos APC leaders mourn the GAC member Tunde Samuel. Osun government alleges security threat to APC primaries. Rep for trial over certificates forgery, says in April 11th. And Abba Kyari, 2 police officers suspended. All right, which story are we starting with?
The rep for
Yes,
ICPC has accused the member of the House of Reps. His name is Mohammed Garba Gololo, Gamawa Federal Constituency of Bauchi State, for forging his first and second degree certificates. He had presented to INEC to contest election certificates from Lagos State University for BSc, second class honors upper division, and an MBA. But then, according to ICPC, been found to be forged. And so he was planned to have been arraigned before the court yesterday, but he didn't show up, and he's been scheduled for April 11th. That's interesting that we're doing this, yes. And I hope that this is done properly.
The Lagos APC has lost a member of the Governor's Advisory Council, Professor Samuel, Tunde Samuel, and he was the former Commissioner for Education under Ashiwaju's government. He's also the pioneer provost. Is it provost? Pioneer head of the Michael Otedola College of Primary Education in Ekwe. He's also been a strong member of the party and influential party in Lagos West. So they are commiserating with them. Yeah. Also, the APC APC primaries in Osun is tomorrow, and the government in Osun is alleging that there are fake NSCDC uniforms being distributed. The Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Funke Egbemode, has announced that they are suspecting that they want to give these uniforms to non-security officials to carry out certain activities that are anti-people while the primaries is happening. And also said that Kerio, Kolomode, Kilo Fomwe, all the children, want your children to stay home and stay away from such, or not to be, allow themselves to be used by politicians in this.
Okay. Just to add to what you said earlier, Professor Tunde Samuel was also a friend of TVC, very friend of the house. He was on our show a few times, and so may his soul rest in peace. Any other story in the nation?
Yes, so the Police Service Commission saying that suspended 2 police officers who worked with the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, in the intelligence response team of the force investigation. Their Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP Sunday Ubwa, and Assistant Superintendent of Police, ASP James Bauer. The suspended officers have been banned from exercising powers and operating in their office, which started Monday the 14th. And they are also saying that the DSP Abba Kyari has already been suspended. That suspension will continue till investigations are over.
Okay, let's go on a quick break now. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're moving on now to Daily Sun. Heads roll in police over drug cartel scandal. Terrorism court to shift venue of Kanu's trial, says Chief Judge. Reps seek law to protect widows' rights and dignity. Fare hike as fuel scarcity persists. Next to increase patronage of locally assembled vehicles. Ataga, deceased body evacuated from pool of blood, says police. Kano APC Ganduje wins as appeal court invalidates ward and local government congresses. ASUU strike, UNN grounded as union ensures total compliance. Okay.
The Federal High Court in charge of Nnamdi Kanu's case is thinking of changing the venue of the case to another location because it's getting in the way of their proceedings. So most of the lawyers who are supposed to have a case in court are not able to come in because of the security operatives who are always there to take people away. So cases are really, really pending in the court. And he's saying that they need to find a solution to this crisis because because he's a high-profile person, when he comes to court, a lot of people will abandon their businesses just to be present in court. The lawyers who have cases in court are not able to meet up with the demands of their cases. And so they are thinking of maybe shifting him to another venue so it doesn't disrupt the office. But it's still an idea that they are, working on. Yeah.
All right, so our friend, Sir Jess Ogun, and his colleague, Honorable Adejero Adeogun, sponsored a bill, Violence Against Persons bill, and they adjusted, they are sponsoring the Section 15, subsection 1 of this bill that stipulates a person who subjects a widow to harmful widowhood practices, commits an offense, and is liable of conviction, imprisonment for, I think, about, is it 7 years? 7 years without any option of fine.
Is it 3? Is that 3 years here?
No, 7 years here.
Okay.
So it also said that the person who attempts to, so if you're attempting, you get 3 years and 1 million naira of both. So there's some who attempt and some who actually do it. And those who aid and abet, those ones who are aid and abetting, those ones, they get an offense, is liable to conviction of imprisonment for a term of service, also 3 years, and 1 million naira or both. Yeah. And the person who receives the assets, if you receive or assist another who gets assets that does not belong to you, you get the same thing, 3 years and 1. So, Honorable Sir Ogun has been a friend of the House, and yesterday we were talking to him recently about sponsoring the bill concerning traveling abroad, right, to medical tourism. The same guy. Wow. He's now sponsoring this bill alongside his colleagues. So we might begin to monitor what he's sponsoring these days. He might be a guy
but this one is more than welcome.
Yes,
women have over the years suffered and lost trust in the system. So good, welcome to this. I hope that the House will quickly, speedily hear and first, second, whatever amount of readings to passing this into law. We need this as a law, and we need enforcement.
Quick. Oh yeah, next one. Okay, let's move on quickly to Vanguard. Cocaine saga, NDLEA 6 court order to extend Kyari's detention. Osun governorship fight. The die is cast for Oyetola and Aregbesola. While we are diversifying Nigeria's economy, says Emefiele. Out of school children in national problem, says federal government. Wife kills husband with hot water in Ogun. Fuel scarcity, AFG marketers, others disagree, actually. And 2023, Southeast must produce next president, Igbo elders insist. Strike ASUU slams minister for accusing it of dodgy negotiation. Okay, which stories?
The major story, the major headline. So, there were indications yesterday that the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has filed an application in court for the extension of the detention of Abba Kyari and 4 other suspects involved in the 25-kilogram cocaine deal. So sources are saying that there's a current investigation going on concerning the assets that he claims to have, and they are comparing him with a Mexican drug lord, El Chapo. That's how El Capo. That's how he is. So they said also that he confessed to ownership of choice estates in Lekki, Victoria Island, Lagos, Gusapi, Hybra, Sokoro in Abuja, and the operatives have given asset verification to Phil and currently try to verify the properties that he has mentioned in this confession.
So you see while we're undergoing investigations, the police service is saying it's only suspended. Another report is saying it's only demoted. Is there an outcome of this that will force the Police Service Commission to keep him in service? This is not a new one. Not only as a court in America demanded his extradition. They have evidence of his partnership with the fraudster. You have evidence, video evidence of him trying to, you know, to sell cocaine, but then we're just suspending him.
Yes, so ASUU, they say, have slammed the Minister for Education, Madam Adamu, over his comment saying that they were looking for them for negotiations, and next thing they found out that ASUU had gone on strike. The national president of ASUU says, it's not everything one reacts to, but that type of comment does not deserve any response. It is very unfortunate and childish. Does that mean that there's no way of getting across to us? The ASUU, the Ilorin chapter 2 said they don't understand this message. We have a national chapter, we have organized state chapters everywhere. There are different ways that you would have reached out to us if you wanted to. That this is government's way of just trying to make excuses instead of, you know, doing what they are meant to do concerning their negotiations.
Moving on quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. Find a story we've not taken. Reps call for procurement of body-worn camera for police, army, customs, and others. High death profile, and if Afenifere cautions federal government. Out-of-school children, not only northern problems, says federal government. Kiari Gates, now that's what it's called. Police commissioner suspends 2 indicted officers. And Ikoyi building collapse, consortium of professionals to scrutinize high-rise buildings. Okay, who has the Ikoyi collapse?
I have the House of Reps.
Okay.
So the House of Reps have resolved that, you know, all security operatives, Nigerian Army, police, other paramilitary agencies, the NSCDC and all of them, even the Nigerian Customs must start to wear body cameras, and they are looking at this, of course, to curb their excesses. The resolution that was passed was sponsored by Honorable Chinedu Martins, and they are looking that this continuous reports of their excesses against civilians, or, you know, the people that are supposed to, must be sorted out. I also believe that this is the way to go, but I hope that we do not deny this laudable thing because of finances. It is something we should start to invest in security. That's the way to go.
Training of the staff. Yes, so the weekly ministerial media briefing that was organized by the Presidential Communications team featured the Minister of Human Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk. During the meeting, she was asked about the school feeding program and if that has had any positive impact on the number of children that are being enrolled into school. And she says, yes, there is some positive impact of that, but that it has also helped them realize that out of the 10 million out-of-school children that we talk about, that they are not only in the north, because many times when we talk about the out-of-school children, we think it's just a northern problem, that they found out that about 7,000 of those children in the recent survey are in Makoko, Lagos, Enugu, and Jos. That the school feeding program hasn't done as much as they would, just minimal improvement, but this numbers of children is widespread across, you know, our country. And for me, it's a bit worrying because I know that places like Lagos especially, they are very into encouraging children, building the public school, improving the public school access. So I wonder what other challenges
there are other factors, because I know for Lagos, for example, there's some communities where they have the, what they call that thing, Nima, where...
those on the water?
The southeast, the way they bring in, lost the word, where you bring in, where young people are trained under you. Apprenticeship. Okay. Where they'd rather somebody come in, a young child come in and just learn from be an apprentice to somebody. The form of education is different, but they don't have the formal. They don't want the formal education. There are other factors. There are others saying they're in the water areas, they want their children to do. So there are different factors that cause parents not to allow children to go to school. However, it doesn't mean that the government isn't trying to get them back to school. I know they've done quite a few things.
All the people begging on the streets, are they not in Lagos State?
They're all part of them. They're all part of
just saying that we have 10 million out of school children. So
okay.
Yes. So you know, as a result of the Ikoyi building that happened, there was an audit exercise by a certain committee, and they have done the white paper. It's ready, and they had about 28 recommendations. Lagos State accepted 26. I want to just say some of those recommendations. So they said that going forward, professionals will scrutinize all high-rise buildings in the state. They are also going to be training officials involved in building approval section.
Well done.
And they will get more hands recruited for those agencies that are short-staffed. They went ahead to say that they are going to be evacuating all occupants 45-meter radius from the extreme boundaries of where this happened for the interest of the public. And they are going to also set up a disciplinary action against those people involved in granting approval to this particular developer, and among others.
You know, the question I have for this is, you know, they said they will collapse the building and then they will forfeit the land. What happened to all the people that made investments?
There has to be some kind of compensation
for them.
All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So today's topic is quite interesting because a man posted something on his Twitter page. He talked about the insecurity of other male colleagues. And one of the reasons why he discussed this was because of his experience in prison. According to him, while working in the prisons, he managed an inmate who disfigured his wife with acid because she was too attractive. And according to this inmate, he wanted to uglify her. Also, there was another story of a man who burned down his wife's shop where she was making money because she was making much more than him. So our discussion today is not so much about bashing men, because what the people start accusing us of bashing men. We're not trying to bash men. We're discussing totally about jealousy and insecurity in men. How do men manage it? Before I even ask how women can help them manage it. How does a man as himself, who knows that he's a jealous man and maybe fairly insecure in some end, how can he help himself? It would be great to have an expert, but maybe we usually like to start conversations here, our viewers, before we bring in an expert to, you know, shed more light on it. What are your thoughts on this? How can men who feel a sense of jealousy or a sense of insecurity with their women or their spouse or their significant other, even women sometimes feel a sense of jealousy where you feel like, oh, your husband is too fine. Why is he going out? You know, and you're constantly tagging him or tapping wherever he's going. I'm trying to make sure you know exactly where he is per time. So how do you as a person work on this? Let's hear from our viewers. You can call us on 0812705367, 09139076948. You can also send us messages on Twitter by going to @TVC Connect, hashtag YourViewTVC, and send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your messages. So jealousy and insecurity. And I'd like us to refer specifically to this man this is a man who's worried for other men, saying, why am I seeing men who are in prison because of something they've done? And by uglifying their wife because of insecurity. And when you read this story, how did you respond? And have you any experience and like this, like before? Heard anybody have this experience of a man who was totally jealous?
I had one in the university. He was me. Whoa. You went to the club, yes.
Are you serious? Aww.
So I just got in pre-degree, you know, that's pre-degree rush and everything. And I didn't want to date this guy. My roommates, people, just said, he comes around, he takes us out, just date him. He was asking me out. I said I didn't want to date him. He wasn't my spec, but they said just date him. Shebi is taking us out. You know, now we're teenagers, basically. And then I started the relationship. I just started noticing that this guy was very jealous. There was a time we were contesting for, I think then I was doing French, pre-degree I did French, and they were contesting for department, Miss something. That was just the time I was just getting into myself to realize that, okay, be like, I find small, you know, that kind of thing. And I wanted to contest. And he said, lie. He will never allow me contest for beauty pageants. For what? So that all those boys will not come and be toasting me. All those commissioners will not see me. All this one will not see me. And he said, he didn't allow me. I didn't do that. I was
Not
observing.
a parent. Oh.
Not a parent, a boyfriend. I was observing.
God
And then
help us.
a time came, I met another friend who said, okay, come, let's go to club. He didn't take only me to the club. He took me and my roommate to the club. I was beating for it. And that was when I said, this is not going to work. I did not leave my father's house to come to school to be maltreated by a boy. So what I see is a lot of people have such insecurities, and I would call it witchcraft, because we want to be able to control the outcome of everything. What will stay will stay. What will go will go. If you have trust for your partner, you should let them be free. Understand what makes them happy. Somebody is beautiful, should be kudos to you. You are doing like...
We'll come to the solution a bit later.
Okay.
I want to just start. Let's start with all the various experiences.
Who are the
What concerning the man? You have an experience that or you like to
Yes,
share?
I have an experience, Mr. Lunge. It's a long time ago, just to put it out there. So what I noticed with this particular person is that at first, it even seems a bit cute when the person seems like, oh, he's really so into me. He doesn't even want anyone to... The jealousy seems a bit cute, you know. But I personally, I don't like people that suffocate me. I don't like too much attention, too much. So they are controlling. They want to tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And then emotionally, they are so sensitive, you know. And after a while, for me, I just... with this particular person, I just started giving space because I just felt overwhelmed. I don't like too much emotions and things like that. But I remember that one of the things that sort of made that person attractive to me was because the person seemed really sweet, very attentive, you know, and then that attentiveness became obsessive, you know, an obsession. So, and I feel that many young girls will fall into that trap because that's how they get you in. They first come to you as if they're really overly caring, they understand everything about you, but it's really just so they can capture you and then hold you down. And as you say, okay, we're not talking about what to do to make it better, but for me, I think young girls should be aware of that. And that's why I always advise like a longer courtship period. So you understand where that behavior is leading to, or else you find yourself now married to somebody that's showing you a different side to them.
You might know you've seen lots of married women, experiences, people have told you different stories. Any stories you've heard of or in this regard where the jealousy has become obsessive?
I've seen the one I saw, the worst case I saw was force people to do traditional rituals because you think you're insecure, you think that they will be cheating. So now you don't have any facts as to their cheating, probably from the man's past, what he has experienced.
We have seen people
the people that put it believe it too. And the women who go through it suffer it. Aside from what they say to me, I've actually not been able to say this is me. But people who have suffered this, they actually did suffer it and they had to go through other rituals. So I've seen the worst extreme cases, that's ritualism. And I've also seen where a person thinks that, you know, once a client was saying to me, I did a divorce once when the woman insisted she had to divorce her husband. So he didn't physically beat her, but she was in the limelight and he thought I needed to. And he told me, he said I was protecting her. I said, how do you protect her? She's not achieving anything. She's not living a life worth living. She's not happy. He said, no, there are evil men out there. And because of the kind of work she wants to go and do, acting and all of that, I have to protect her. So he's locking her up, boxing her up, and emotionally abusing her, making her feel less worthy of herself. And he says he's doing this so that she will understand to focus at home. So he doesn't understand how a better person should be romantically with him if she was fulfilling her own purpose and achieving things that she would love, so she'll be able to give more. And he said, no. And that woman said, even if I wasn't beaten, I have been so destroyed that I don't even have self-worth in myself, and that what I think I would have achieved, because what God has the potentials God has given me, what I thought I would have achieved with it in a shorter while, I don't think I can even utilize it enough in a long time now due to what I have suffered.
So we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk about how, especially a person in this position, what led to it and how they can overcome it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're discussing insecurity and jealousy in some of our men. Not all men, obviously, but there are some men that have uglified their wives by pouring acid, hot water, domestic violence, yes, and also doing things, impeding her growth, just simply because they don't want her to supersede a certain level. So that's our conversation today. And what leads to this? You know, there's always something starts before something. I know somebody who, I think he has, is it 2 or 3 wives? And the first one, I mean, for some reason, he never beat the first one. But the second wife, he consistently beats her up. So she runs away. And the first wife tries to protect the second wife and all that. But and she was such a beautiful. You would think that this one is a queen. I was even when they even married this, I was only how did you? What did you say? This one that she even agreed to you, you know? But he maltreated her the most. And when family questioned him, it was fear that this beautiful woman that he had just married will leave him. So the fact that he just felt that by beating her to control her, she wanted to start the business, he didn't allow her. He was giving her money in fairness. But the fact that he just didn't want her to look so pretty. He didn't want her to look to have that freedom. So when you go for family functions, you will not see her there. She won't show up. When you call her, what happened? Say, I couldn't come. Why couldn't you come? They didn't allow me to come. You're not wondering.
Prison.
You know, so it's that insecurity of the fact that because I love her the most, I don't want her to going out. I don't want to lose her
at all.
Is that necessary? I mean, we come to where that. Yeah.
Maria, it comes from a place of not feeling good enough in yourself. Most of the men or women, because there are women who are like that too, who are so insecure that they will go to the lengths of disfiguring you or blocking things for you just because they don't want you to shine, and probably they will lose you, come from a place where they do not ever believe that they will get you. They think they're not good enough to keep you. So that's trying to, you know, disfigure you and control you so that you do not go. So it's from a place of not feeling adequate, a place of inadequacy. And if we can start, you know, having conversations with them to understand that, why are you feeling you're not good enough? I decided to marry you, so of course you should know that I love you enough to stay with you. You don't have to feel you're not good enough as if I'm a trophy you just won. And even if you feel I'm a trophy, there's a way you treat your trophies. You don't pick up your awards and smash it, you polish it, you clean it. So if you treat me that way, even if when sometimes my head will dangbana shoko, I remember that somebody is pampering me somewhere and will stay. So it's just their way of, you know, as a man, I have to control. And if I can't get it this way, I have to use force. I have to use, you know, manipulation. I have to use beating, disfiguring, so that any other person will not see you and like you.
Let me take this call from Yemi. Yemi from Oshodi, are you there? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Yemi. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I would like to contribute. I even have a personal experience. But first, I'd like to have men like this, they have low self-esteem. And the only way to pull their women down is by gaslighting them. They make them feel like they're not good enough at first. And if the woman is not quickly aware, she can fall and she begins to question her own self-worth.
True.
And even in marriage, I believe that all the signs have been there before marriage, and we just try to overlook so many. Like I said, I had a personal experience, and I had to feel it for myself because there was a lot of gaslighting, a lot of emotional abuse, physical abuse. Don't go there. To the extent I started going through my phone and questioning. I had a lot of guy friends, and it's always like, what am I doing with this guy? Because the guy didn't really understand what it is to have a guy friend, a male friend, without having any that thing attached to it. So I don't feel that this kind of men already have low self-esteem before anything.
Thank you very much, Yemi. Ladies, is there a role a woman can play to help a man with a low self-esteem? Let me tell you why. I'm not saying that our men generally have self-esteem. For example, we're on TV now, and of course, whether we like it or not, our significant other will sometimes feel like, you're there. Do you feel like you have to constantly reassure your spouse that, listen, yes, I'm out there in the open, flashy, but I'm still I'm still only yours, that kind of thing. Where people come in our early marriage, you know, when I do your view and everything, I'm not just come pick up my phone, I just go through my phone, and I don't object, not because he doesn't trust me, but for him maybe it's a reassurance that okay, just looking.
Still mine.
Yeah, just I mean, my point is that if I raise an objection, why would you take my phone? Not because there's anything like that, but I understand that there's need for him to be 100% sure that because you are flashy there, doesn't mean that I've lost you. So is there something our women also can do to reassure a man in their life that, okay, listen, yes, I'm very, very excited. I have this beautiful supermarket. I'm doing well. I'm seeing clients. But don't worry, there's no issue. Is there a role we can play, or it's all on the men to just overcome their insecurities?
That's what marriage is about. Constant reassurance. Constant reviewing of your commitments and reassurance of that commitment. So any insecurity, really, truly, because there's a level of jealousy that is healthy.
Yes.
That your husband or partner is worried about people around you doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. But when it is beyond control, when it gets out of hand, when he cannot deal with the emotions, he's not emotionally intelligent about it, that's where there's a problem. So once in a while, Auntie, this clothes you are wearing is so revealing. Auntie, wear clothes. That's not controlling. Yeah. That's somebody telling you, you know, or you're going out. No, you're going out too often. Or this sex is late, you know. So once in a while, you continue to reassure. That's what marriage is about. Except you don't want to be with that person. Yeah. If it's someone you want to be with, you have to be deliberate about reassuring that person, I am with you no matter what. And it includes opening up. In marriage, there is no privacy, secrecy. Opening up what you have to that person, including your phone. Because me, I don't understand this phone thing. I don't get it. See, you see the phone. Once, let me tell you one thing. Once I was on a chat, my husband and myself just had an argument about something. My best friend in London then chatted me and said, me and my husband just had this. I said, the blind say we show. So I downloaded to my friend at the chat. My husband also said, I'm arguing with you, but now you're smiling. Because my friend is responding about our own, and I'm saying I'm not alone. I continue to put more information there. I was just like, and he's angry, he's expecting me to, I'm just smiling. The guy was like, what's in that phone? Let me have that phone. And the level of things you say that he must not see it. I said, bless, I don't drive. I just wrote it there. I said, they won't collect this phone. So she said, I'll delete conversation. I didn't know how to delete. Delete for everyone. How to delete. So she said, I'll delete for everyone from there. And I just said, take the phone. So he saw that deleted from, why did she delete? And somebody is telling me personality, you want to collect the phone. So, but constantly reassuring your partner is extremely important in marriage.
Now come to you, Mary. Let me take this call. Good morning, Fatima. Hello, Fatima, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
You're live for the third time. Go ahead, please.
Okay, good morning. My name is Fatima. Okay, I had a contribution. I'm a first caller. I've never called.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, I'm a student and I'm married, but I think what men are doing, like being so jealously and analyzing I think it's not good. It affects women's life. I have a neighbor here in my house that when I moved into the house, she was like always indoors. She doesn't go anywhere, and the husband would be like, even go out and get something, he always watch on her. Like if he goes out, he will, like if he come back, he will beat her up, all those kind of things. And me here, I'm a student. I go out. My husband don't used to be at home, so they used to see if it's something. How will I call it? Like somehow being, they are seeing it in a stranger to me going out every time. So she in there, like she to be rescued. At me, I call it rescue because always you will see her face somehow.
Did you understand what she's saying? I didn't really get it.
Trying to get
so somebody here was saying that trusting a woman is not automatic. It should be earned.
Yes.
Says in some instances, insecurity in men is caused by the partner's perceived vulnerability, thinking other men can easily explore. If you get a lady cheap, The man is likely to get insecure, thinking other men can easily sway her too.
It's a man that sent you that.
It's a man that sent me this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
if you
I've
get
heard
a
those kind of
lady
really
cheap.
So it's a man that is calling it cheap.
Well,
Anyway, so first of all, I agree that there are levels to this insecurity and levels to this jealousy that happens. And so there are some that a woman or a spouse can help with, but there are some that you cannot help with. And you pray to God that you find that out before you make a lifelong commitment. Because sometimes it's not that that person started off insecure. Maybe just things change in the course of the marriage. So you married a man who, at the time you married him, was the breadwinner. He took care of everything. He was the Lord and master of this house. Got your car, you're traveling abroad, he's taking care of it. All of a sudden, you start with this job. Then you are making more money. You know how life happens. Maybe he falls on bad times. You are now the breadwinner. You're taking care of all the bills.
Talking to MDCEOs.
Yes, you're having meetings with these people, you know, dressed up and everything. His security, his confidence may have been, especially with Nigerian men, where they have been raised to think that, you know, the man is the head and the provider. So his confidence is on the fact that he can provide for you. Yeah. And all of a sudden, he doesn't have that anymore. That's the thing that made him feel like a man. So he now has that insecurity. I feel that with some men, during that time, you can work on that. You can help them, reassure them constantly, you know, that this is just for a bit and we're doing this together. But then there are some men that you may not ever be able to work this out until they are better than you, until they're able to get that position again. They would not want you to be happy. They will do it in such a way. We've heard the stories where they would ask you to resign, even though if resignation means that both of us will live in poverty, they do not care. They would go so far as to, you know, the word uglify is the word. Do everything, embarrass you at work, belittle you. I'm like, what is it that you're even wearing? You don't even look nice, Seth. Or what is it that you're even, is this the proposal you read? This is your English self. Now, wow, are you sure that you know,
so,
do things that will
thank you for taking us there. So, if you are in that position, therefore, as a woman, what do you do?
Pray hard.
Would you, because of this insecure man, say you want to leave the marriage? Would you rather say, I'll stay here, we're going to break, when we come back. Would you rather say, if that's what you want, I will do it like that? Or you say, I'm getting out of here. Let's go and break. Right back.
You know the level.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, so we're trying to expatiate on this male commenter. He said, and I said it earlier, that in some instances, if you get a lady cheap, means you ask a girl out and you get her easily. The man is likely to get insecure, thinking other men can also easily get her cheap. The same man is saying that a clever cheater in many cases thinks other men are like him. He doesn't want to give room, so he becomes very insecure with his rival partner. So you yourself, you're all over the place. So you feel like other men are like this, and they are praised, and they might prey on my wife. So you come across as insecure because you're trying to protect your wife, your property.
That's because you assume in the first place that all women are the same, and you do not trust your wife enough to understand that there are women who can hold their own.
Yes.
It's not. I'm sure that's your wife now that you got very cheap. I'm sure there were other women who were very expensive that you could not get. Because she loved you enough to lower her guard and say, this guy does not need to give me anything. I just like him. I just want to go with him. You now assume she's cheap. But you know that those other ones were looking for you. She did not even allow you to see color. You did not see anything. Fantastic. So please, there's no me. I took this matter very personal because I don't believe any woman is cheap. It just depends on how they feel about you and at the point that you meet them. Yeah. You know, there's something they say about people from our own side. You will pay to the last couple. I think that's why ladies from that area do that. You will spend. Before you see anything, you would have spent your blood. So that when you get them, you appreciate them and you not tag them cheap. So but that's not an excuse for your insecurities. Learn to trust your partner. If, for instance, you're feeling something may happen, somebody's coming too close, or I'm not doing as well as I'm doing again. Somebody told me something one time. Hold on, Nima, please. That men secretly do not want their wives to earn more than them. They do not want their wives to succeed more than them. And I was pondering talking about it, and it seems like it's true, because I've heard some comments from married men that I know, and even some people that I would not want my wife to earn more than me. And I'm like, why can't your wife? He blessed male and female. You are partners, you're working together. If one person is down today, the other person is supposed to pick up till you pick up. So
let me come to Nima, but I have a call. I have this call, Nima. Hello, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
Good morning, Hassan. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, people of the high table.
Good morning, sir.
Let me tell you one thing. Women enjoy it very, very well for a man to be jealous of them. Any woman, what her sort, you understand, enjoys a man to be jealous of her. It depends on the level of jealousy. That's number one. Number two is this. You see, men that go extreme have something wrong with their psyche. Because this issue of trying to safeguard her, to prevent her from doing this, doing that, all those things you are trying to prevent her from doing, she can end up doing it right inside your house.
True.
So the most important thing, just give yourself a rest of mind. There's nothing wrong in you being jealous of your wife. It's part of love. But that extreme aspect of it, that is what I'm against. But for a woman to come and be telling you that men are comfortable with a man, with a woman much more successful than them, that one, na fa.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Yes, Nima, go ahead.
I add to this that before you even trust your wife, men who cheat, men who habitually are playboys, they are philanderers, they start from their sisters. They don't ever trust their sisters. When you play on young girls and, dump them and all of that, it's from home. I have 4 sisters. And there was this, our brother Dubo, who will play on everybody. But whenever it comes to my mother's children, will say, I saw you being toasted with that boy. Like, am I like the girls that you just slept with? Because they have a problem. And somebody tweeted, I'm trying to get her name. Now, Abiyara, your self-esteem, your responsibility. It's the way you mirror life that you think other people see life. And if you get into marriage, unfortunately for the girl that you marry, you continue it. If you're a disciplined person, before you doubt your wife, you have to have examples. Yeah. Your wife has to have cheated on you before you say, because of this one experience, I'm dealing with it, I cannot trust you again. Anymore. You don't just wake up and not trust somebody. It's you who cannot even trust yourself. You're a danger to society.
Let me take this call from Laja. Laja, are you there from London?
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Laja. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I just want to contribute to the program.
Yes.
And I'm very happy that I'm on today.
Oh, we're happy for you too.
Oh, yeah. I just want to say it depends on the man's confidence about himself, Just like me, before traveling abroad, I used to think like that, competing and all that, but my orientation changed. So if your wife is better than you, it doesn't change anything in life, It's even easier for you guys. That's the way I see it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laja.
Yeah,
so this another man said that some men are also insecure if their spouses are sexually active. Yeah. When your wife is very, very good in the other room, you don't want this person to leave this place. You're thinking, hey, somebody else. I mean, that's
a sad man. The only reason you know she's sexually active is because she's doing it with you. How would you know she's sexually? So you should be happy that
we are afraid. You're afraid that somebody else can catch her. It goes back to their trust. That men don't trust their wives.
Yes. Wait, let me explain. There's a middle-age crisis where men become extremely sexually active and their wives cannot even match it. It's the same too. Some women, a few number do, have that experience where at their middle age, the sexual demand increases. And maybe their husband, on the other hand, cannot meet it. That's a cause insecurity. Yes. That's actually a health condition. I hear from 40.
Well, yes. I'm not a sex therapist. No, and I'm not a sex coach. But we have heard, these are things that will happen in life. Life happens. And that is why those coaches will tell you all the different ways that you can meet up someone's demand and meet supply. So it's not well, I guess if you don't talk about it, if you don't have a conversation about it and say, because I'm going through this right now, my sexual drive is ebbing and yours is on the increase, and I'm afraid that you may want to get it from somewhere. If you don't have that conversation, then you start acting out. But if you have the conversation, then you're like, so how do we meet halfway? How do we find other ways to come to that agreement? So if it's about conversation and understanding and communicating and understanding what the problem is, fine. But Hassan said something. There are some people that I think is a mental problem. They are obsessive. I mean, there's a particular celebrity right now that's making, you know, all sorts of obsessive whatever, Kanye West and his wife. I know that it looks cute because that man is a billionaire, but to be constantly called out by your ex-husband or the husband that you are divorcing on social media for different things, it shows you a man that is obsessed. Yeah. You know, there's a point where he was trying to tell her that almost like everything you have is because of me and I can take it from you. That's a man that's insecure. He feels that I have made you, I have groomed you, and you are this person because of what I have done for you. And how dare you say you want to leave me? You know? So if you're with that sort of person, me personally, I'll pray for you, and I hope they make the best decision of walking out. Because these sort of people are the ones that take it to the next level. Yes. When they have decided, when they now realize that there's nothing they can do to hold you down, then they resort to violence.
Morayo, as a young lawyer, I must say this one because I don't see what you gain. If you build something, how do you gain pleasure by destroying it? So a man once wanted to divorce his wife because she got a political appointment up in the East. He did not rest until she was sacked from that position. As young lawyers then in my chambers, we're just looking like this.
Did she go back home after the sack?
The poor lady, and if you see this beautiful woman, this woman, she's beautiful. Until she lost that job, I didn't see him ease out. No. He was like, I got you here.
But Nima, this is coming from you who believe that family is the most important thing. So you are, I'm arguing what you're saying, that you believe nothing else is important. So as a woman, do we therefore ask a woman to sacrifice this her ambition to be the governor, ambition to be the CEO of this big bank because he's making her husband insecure and should rather make him happy so that she has a home to be secure for her children? Is the question.
The question is, why do you want me to make this sacrifice? Am I making this sacrifice because it's for the good of our family? It's for the good of our children? Do I need to step back so that I can raise these children and get to a level? Or you just want me to kill my dreams because you do not feel confident?
I'm asking the question.
It's about home. So it's about family. Yes. A need that cannot be met until you are available at home. Like your children, it will make sense. So you know you are clear. But if you give up your life for the insecurity of your woman, when you can reassure that man without giving up that job.
So a man can then like that, and with a man like that, it's not necessarily about you getting a job outside.
No,
there will be always something. It will be the shoes that you are wearing that day. Why would you wear high heels? The hair you're wearing looking like this. Why would you make that hairstyle?
A man can argue, Mariam, that the reason why you're not wearing those shoes, he doesn't want you to go out there. Another man finds you attractive, and then you lose the children will lose their mother. He brings it right back to the children. Every reason why he allows you to go out for him is because he wants to preserve his children and his family.
Good, and that is a red flag. That is a person that is controlling, that he thinks just the shoes is enough to change his whole life. You will wear these red shoes, and that day you wear the red shoes, the divorce will happen. You will jump into another man's bed, and your children will be lost.
Please, do you follow everybody that finds you attractive?
He sees that the fact that you're on social media and doing what you do on social media will be the end of your relationship. He's constantly thinking that everything you do will cause the breakup of the marriage.
I have to go to break. English doesn't express this in me. I'm no verse. Man, way to talk, way to count. Man like that, not Mariam.
Not Mariam.
See, English not express this thing. It will talk. Because this man will say today, it's your head, I made you.
It's too nice.
I made you. It's now women, wala be that. Now women, they talk.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we're bringing our guest. Maybe he can add a few things to this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. He's an MC, actor, international stand-up comedian, viral skit maker, and the prophet, all rolled into one of Nigeria's top online sensations. He found fame on the Instagram, posting videos of him preaching the gospel in comical ways. And welcome with us, Mr. Toyin Bayegun, popularly known as Woli Arole, in the building. Woo, woo, woo. Good to have you on the show. Congratulations on your baby and your marriage.
Yes.
We'll come to gist about you later, but first you must enter this conversation.
Yes, I must.
So we talked about men. Today we're discussing men.
Okay.
And it was a man that started the conversation.
All right.
He was saying that he used to see inmates and was wondering what they were doing in prison. So one they were in prison because they wanted to uglify their wives. So out of jealousy and insecurity, where your wife is so beautiful, you don't want another man to come and catch her, you now pour acid on her, you pour hot water on her, or she's flying so high, she's building shops, she's doing stuff, and she's earning more money, and you pull her down, say, you can't go past this level. You know, and we're discussing what is that thing that causes insecurity in men? And we know some men, they don't start out going to that extent, actually. It starts out being healthy jealousy. You know, I don't want you going out, don't wear these shoes out, you know, makes you, this dress is too short. But gradually, then progresses to the point where it seems very obsessive. So as a man, could you help us understand what could make a man jealous or insecure for his woman?
So for me, because I have a bit of background in psychology,
Okay.
so I'm going to come in from two. Yeah, but that was my first degree in OAU.
Fantastic.
Before this whole shouting.
Yeah.
So I've had this I love that we're having this discussion. I've had this same discussion with a lot of people. And I said, human beings generally is from two parts, nature and nurture. So the nature is as you're coming, nurture is your environment. Now, we cannot exclude the environment from any human being. None. None.
Okay.
Now, if you and they taught us something in school. If you bring up a child here and another child here, a child in a place of love and affection, a child in a place of hate and disrespect, let them grow. One will be loving naturally, one will be naturally disrespectful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, so for some of this jealous stuff and all of that, see, a lot of people have actually tapped a lot from the environment that they thought they are right. They have bad mind shift. Example of those mind shift is for you to think that the only subject that is honorable is a man. It's wrong. It's wrong. Or for you to think that your only way of domineering a place is by coarseness. It is not right, either at work or in marriage.
Can I clap for you?
Thank you. So back to this. See, this thing is even beyond marriage. It happens among friends.
Yes.
And you begin to see that people are insecure by the kind of jokes they throw.
Oh, tell them.
I'm telling you, you know, just like as your friend, I was having a discussion with somebody and I say, okay, let's say, look at the way you are, like, Mama, you look very fine, Miss Mariah, I love what you're wearing and all of that. I'm healthy. Another person will look at you and like, you know, what's the big deal? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so there is this.
Joking.
So now that's now entering into marriage. Some people have grown to see maybe their parents. And they think that is a normal structure. How their father treated their moms. You know, thinking that, you know, they need to exert a lot of force. That a woman can just be confined to the subject of a kitchen and just raising children. That was what they saw. Hey. And you understand? So they never saw where a woman can be so global, have influence, and do a lot of stuff.
Preach it.
You know, so if that kind of woman is not trying to say, I'm beyond the four walls of the place of a kitchen. Yeah. You can't. So that man starts feeling that his ego is bruised. That you cannot be sharing equality with me. And well, sorry, I'm faith-based, and I'm going to come from faith angle. And Bible says that the highest in the kingdom should be the servant. That's it. The highest, the peak, a lead. Jesus Christ was a servant leadership person. Yes, that's it. And when I, thank God I'm married, I'm from my own little experience at home. I told my wife from start, I said, see, we are married to both of us express our dreams. I failed as an husband. If in 5 years of marriage, all they see is just about Arole, and there's nothing about your subject. She's a nurse. Let me tell you this, she's a nurse. And at times she said that, my babe, I say, this thing you are doing, keep going at it. She has a master's. I say, you are not going to end at master's. You are going to do your PhD. And she will tell me, you are not just going to be an actor. You are going to produce your own movie. You are going to do your own stand-up comedy. So it makes it healthy. That's it. Healthy. So we keep it. She encourages me. I encourage her.
Now about the circle in woman group. I met a top CEO, female, at the CEO event, and she was talking, and then she mentioned that her marriage is where it is. Her career is growing in her marriage because her mother-in-law was a chief magistrate. Which standard will you come and bring inside that house?
Thank
you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
How important is that vision for a young girl looking to marry now? I'm just going to marry somebody. Do you just, those external factors, are they not really important to consider?
See, let me tell you this. One of my very, like a father figure to me, and I love him so much, made this statement. And any young people I try to see, I tell them, please, I beg. Some of my friends, they know me. I tweet this thing. There are some category of people that permit me to say, I beg you, it is not safe. I love to use that word, to get married to them. Look at the word. It is not safe. My father-in-law is Dr. Dike Oluka, Mountain of Fire American Ministry, GO. And he has some very deep messages on relationship. See, anybody that he himself has not discovered himself, it's not safe, ma.
It's not safe.
I agree with you.
No, ma, I'm telling you. Because of how I'm also a bit tilted to religion, and I see people bring cases to me, prophet, all of that. You see, you don't want to hear people's cases in marriage. You will advise your younger sister, your brother. You see, anybody that feels threatened by every little level of success, it's not safe. Even to keep as a friend. No. Preaching, see, I don't care if he's a worker in the church. I don't care if he's an imam. I don't care your religion. If this person is not healthy enough to see that life is about collectivity and collaboration.
Forget it.
There's a man. Let me let BC come in there.
This thing you mentioned now, you know, these days, people's eyes are beginning to open because of globalization. Things are happening very fast. But in our time, some of us married before knowing who we were.
Thank you.
So if you have a young girl now who is 20, 21, 22, and hasn't even discovered herself, are you saying they shouldn't marry her?
So this is my point, ma. See, that married thing is
deep.
Mommy, it's long.
Okay.
It's a lifetime.
You get what I'm saying? Okay. See, and they say that there's a Yoruba adage, permit me to say, they say, enter bawi from Abajogbo. Understand? My mom used to give a very powerful proverb, very deep. He said that a young boy was looking at his mother, and he said, Mommy, why is your eyes inside? The mama said, hold on. Time will tell. He said, what the elder have seen that has made the eyes go inside. A young boy, if he climbs on top of a tree, cannot see it. Again, because this marriage is you and this person.
Okay.
Again,
so how do you... wait your time. Answer my question. How do you now sift people who... Because, you know, I'm asking this question.
Yes, please ask me.
Some people find themselves later in life.
Of course.
Some have clarity early on.
Yes.
So are you now putting people on a disadvantage, those who haven't found their purpose before getting married?
So this is it. So life is a journey. So we keep finding it.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not total.
Okay. Yes.
So at the time, it's comedy for me. At the time, acting as joint.
Movies.
At the time, this. But this is my own. Even if it's a glimpse of your life, I feel it is very wise that you catch it.
Okay.
Because this is it. This
Have
is why
a
it's risky.
dream.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a dream.
Have a vision.
Okay.
You might not catch it in totality.
Okay. It will unfold.
There's a man that said that if you find your woman, you're cheap, as it was easy to get her. You know, the reason why you're insecure with her is because you don't want another man to catch her the way you easily caught her. Is that a justifiable reason for you to be insecure?
So, for me, I feel there's no reason for being insecure. For me, personally. You know, this life of a teen is perceptions. There is no final theory or law for anything. Now, the way people run their homes are different. That's why marriage counseling is good and all of that. But in as much as we are doing all of this, there is dynamics to life. Some people met their wife, casual and all of that. 20, 30 years and they're fine.
Good.
Some, it didn't happen that way. Madam, either you find your wife sheep or not sheep. Let me say, a person that will be insecure, by the special grace of God, will be insecure.
However he finds you.
Am I correct? If you like, find inside plane. If you like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about you.
Yes. That's why I say the person. Everything I've been addressing is not even about the marriage structure. You see, that person.
There's something you also said. You talked about nature and nurture.
Yes.
So this, I think it was Moche that she said something one time that struck me. She said when she was growing up, her mom taught her about love, but she never taught her her about hate. So she grew up just being loving and showing love, and then she found herself in a in the midst of people who also showed her hate, and she could not address it. Now we have conversations where people are saying, you know, before when you want to get married, they ask you somebody's background, and we thought that's not the right way to go. Are we saying now that when our parents or our aged parents used to say, what is this person's background? Is it about nature, or is it about trying to find out if they're financially, you know?
See, let me tell you something, and I've said it. An elderly person, someone that is older than you see, that's why this new age getting generation, they will miss out on a lot of things.
God help them.
I'm telling you, man. That's why, check it out. Short span soft. Short span success. Okay, let me give an example. If Auntie Moriah has already come, she's more experienced than me in marriage. These 1, 2, 3 things were things I noticed. Add this. That's an advice for me. Insight to me. Because
experience.
And this thing doesn't cut, and I see a lot of young people that are very proud.
I say, oh, shit, you
know everything.
You get, so your mother is telling you that.
Haters.
You get.
One person used to do
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? And this thing doesn't, it's not religious based. Intellectual stuff is not religiously based.
Woli, I want you to talk. Woli, I want you to talk to men. There are men watching you this morning, and they feel quite insecure. Not because they don't want their wives to fly. You know, they cannot replace their backgrounds. They've had their backgrounds. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm a grown man, and my background is my background. However, I am a man. I'm so scared that this is my wife who is doing so well.
Will leave me.
Will not just leave me, but will be disrespectful to me eventually because she's doing so well.
Yeah, I know that.
I feel that she would that respect that I desire as a man. That is my love language. I will not have it to diminish it because she's talking to MDs. She's flying to Taiwan for a meeting, for heaven's sakes. And I'm here in Ogudu, waiting for her to come back.
Trying to cross the bridge.
How do I handle it, Woli, as a man?
Very true. I love that question because that's why that insecurity thing is very broad. So, and success has different responses. If you are not careful, it can sweep you away.
Yes.
That's why you see a successful man and a woman, if you are not careful, you can be successful outside and the home is wrecked.
Yes.
On both sides. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, that is one of the essence of doing this show.
Yes.
Anybody watching. Because life is about learning, unlearning, and relearning.
Yes.
True.
There were things you thought were right. Sir, it is not right.
Okay.
That's fact.
Yes.
Know it.
Okay.
You know, because at the end of the day, if your wife goes out, your wife is your pride. Let me chip you this. This something happened. This is very funny. So I posted something. Be seeing people's mindset too. This one is very funny, man. I posted something on Instagram, and I was, eulogizing my wife. I post her once in a while, maybe once in 3 or 4 months, and I use the word "my crown." Watch, see mindset, my crown. Somebody now commented, no.
She be your husband.
Thank you. Watch, man, watch. Somebody now commented that, no, Arole, no. Prophet, yeah.
Copy.
Listen, he now said, how can the wife be the crown? Normally, they will say that Okoni Adeori. Yes, Then I refer the guy back to scripture. It's there in Proverbs.
Preach it.
That says the wife is the crown of the man.
Yes!
Yeah. And I explain, if you are a king, the wife is the crown that beautifies your kingdom. Why didn't you get pregnant and go through that 9 months in pain? Fact to me, I think we need to keep giving women the roses they deserve.
We'll take it.
I know some men, I know after this program, some men will come after me, but it's the truth.
Let them bring it on.
It's the truth. It's the truth. That's it. It's the truth.
Which school did you go that you learned this, that the others not?
No, I think it's the school of life. And God, that God is the
We
giver.
need to sit down.
See, there's something I wanted to add to what
churches
you're
used to do. I'm sorry, Nima. Churches used to do it. They will have men's fellowship, and I'm curious to know what it is that they are being taught. Because we have, as you said about religion, it's not about your religion.
No,
because we find this insecurity, whatever religion people practice. So, how does a young man, very young man like you, understand insight and wisdom that many people in their 40s, 50s, and 50s
I think it's God. That's just God's
Age is not
It's
sense.
self-reflection. See, we are who we are, like Morel said, from our various backgrounds.
Yes.
What kind of life do you desire
Thank you,
in the
man.
future?
Yeah.
So, all of us, okay, let me talk for myself. I didn't start here. I have grown on my own terms. I am constantly reflecting on the life that I want and how to get there. And you cannot go there. No, you can't be in a marriage and only you want to go. It's two people. So how do you go and the other person too can go? Because two of you have to be happy for a happy marriage to exist. You are constantly reflecting on what you're doing, how it's affecting the other party, and how you must bring that party. That self-reassurance you're talking about, how you must bring the other party to own it and believe that that thing is not destructive to them. Simple, constantly building yourself like this because you're looking at yourself and constantly wanting to.
Let me take this call from Mama. Mama, are you there from Abuja?
Yes, good morning,
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
And I'm starstruck.
Mama, where do
I want to contribute on this topic you are talking about.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
I have a friend. She's exactly in this situation. The husband is so insecure about her. They work virtually in the same environment. So he knows her income, what she's to earn at the end of the year. So there was a time she was supposed to, they were supposed to pay her one allowance. So he sneaked behind her, went to the office to ask how much they are going to pay her and when it's going to come in. So eventually when the money came in, she didn't tell him that she had received the money and she spent it. His expectation was for her to give him the money to put into a project they are doing, and she didn't. She spent the money without telling him. At the end of the day, he went back to his relatives, told them so many bad things about her. She's always raising shoulders for him because she thinks she earns more than him. So many bad things. She came here crying that this is what happened. I said, okay, this is what you do. Maybe next time, since you know that he sneaks behind you to ask the stuff you are going to earn from your work, maybe you let him know, give him part of it. She said, no, she has been doing that. Virtually everything in that house.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mama. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll just wrap up and then go into Woli's interview. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.